What's going on, guys? Joaquin Buckley will fight Kamaru Usman tomorrow at a good fight night, not in the Apex. I believe it's in Atlanta. Finally, we get a good fight night card that's not in the Apex. Just love to see it. This video, I'm going to be mainly discussing the main event, Buckley versus Usman, giving my thoughts on who I think wins it. Going in with Kamaru Usman, Usman has not won a fight since 2021, and it was against Colby Covington, who isn't that good. I mean, it's crazy that it's been that long since Usman's won a fight. I mean, it's crazy. He got a fluke loss to Leon with a head kick. Super close trilogy fight with Leon. Super close fight with Hamzat that many people thought was a draw. I think Hamzat narrowly beat him, but still really close fight. A good showing by Usman there. Now he takes on a younger contender in Joaquin Buckley, who's on a bit of a streak. He destroyed Colby Covington in his last fight. That was great to watch. KO'd Wonderboy Thompson. Made just what I don't know what the hell happened in that Vicente Luque fight. Beat Ruzaboyev. He's on a good, let's see, is it a good 6-fight winning streak in the welterweight division? Is it some elite winning streak? No, it's not elite really by any means, to be honest. But it's a good winning streak for Buckley, and it has him as legit top 10 guy in the welterweight division, which I do think he is. And now he gets to fight Kamaru Usman, who has not won a fight in 4 years. He's 38 years old. And if this was prime, like if you told me this is 80% of prime Usman, or it's just, I don't know, if it kind of prime Usman, I feel like I'd pick him. Usman, let's just say this actually. Let me re-say this. If this is prime Usman, Usman's winning this fight. He could take Buckley down and dominate him. I think he could outstrike Buckley. We know Usman has power. He's just a better fighter than Buckley. Buckley's not a prime Usman caliber fighter. It's just that simple. I mean, Usman's a top 10 guy like ever. But the problem is that he's 38 years old. It was crazy. Before I made this video, I was told that Usman was 38, and I was just like, Usman's 38? I mean, that is crazy to me, guys. That is actually crazy that Usman's 38 years old. For some reason, I thought he was like 36 or 37, but no, he's 38 years old. Listen, I know it's not lightweight, but welterweight, 38's old. This isn't heavyweight. This isn't light heavyweight. I know maybe he's been dealing with some injuries. I know his knees have always been kind of fucked up, but 38 years old, years off. He's really only talking trash from the sidelines. It's just, how can you pick Usman? So, I have to pick Buckley. There's my pick. I have to pick Buckley. And I'm not picking Buckley because I think he's some elite of elite fighter. I think Buckley's a very good fighter. I don't think he's elite of elite, though. When I'm thinking elite of elite in the welterweight division, I'm thinking of the JDM, obviously, because he's champ. I'm thinking Bilal Muhammad. I'm thinking Sean Brady. I'm thinking Shavkat Rakhmonov. I'm thinking, I think Ian Gary's really good. I just don't think Buckley is at that level. He could be. Who knows? He could be. But I think currently right now, I don't think he's at the top 4 level. But I don't think it will matter against Usman, though. And picking Usman would be an interesting pick. It could happen. Usman, listen, if Usman's still Usman, he's winning this fight. But you can't simply bet. I can't bet that at 38 years old, after only talking trash from the sidelines, after taking years off, after not having a win in 4 years, and you're losing twice to Leon Edwards, and yeah, one was by fluke, but you're losing twice to Leon Edwards? I mean, Leon Edwards was ultra overrated. We saw what Sean Brady did to him. We saw what Bilal did to him. He had a fake title defense against an undeserved contender, Colby Covington, who's a bum. So, I mean, Leon, I'm pretty sure he got his title shot, which he deserved. He deserved his title shot. But if you go look at Leon's winning streak, he got his title shot off beating Nate Diaz. Leon Edwards did not have some Bilal-type winning streak before the title. He deserved the title shot, but he did not have some crazy winning streak. He was on a kind of a long winning streak, but it wasn't some insane one. So, Usman's losing twice to him. He's losing to Hamzat. No shame in that. He's 38 years old. I just can't pick him against Buckley. I think Buckley, at the end of the day, we know Buckley's fast. We know Buckley has a ton of power. And Buckley's striking is not extremely technical. That's why I think that's what holds him back, I think, from being kind of the elite of the elite. I just think his striking's a little bit overrated. But at the end of the day, his striking is still effective. He hits like a truck. He's going to be moving forward. He's way younger. I mean, how old is Buckley? I'm not off the top of my head. Is he like 30? 30 years old, maybe around that? So way younger than Usman, right in the middle of his prime. Maybe he's younger, by the way. I don't know. But all I know is that Buckley is the young guy. Usman is the old man in this fight. And I think Buckley's striking just going to be too much. I think his movement's going to be too much. The striking's going to be too much. Maybe Usman can take him down, but I think Buckley will get back up. This isn't prime Usman. Colby was able to take down Buckley, so I know Usman will. But Buckley was just able to get back up, though. And I think he's going to be able to do the same thing against Usman. I think this fight, though, is not going to look like a Colby fight, though. I think it's just going to be a pretty competitive fight. Like, I don't think Usman's going to take him down and then Buckley just gets back up. Usman's going to be able to do a little bit of work on the ground. But it's just not going to be enough, though. Because I think on the feet, I just trust Buckley to be a lot more successful with his movement, with the power. He just kind of goes forward and sends winging strikes, like Hail Mary strikes on his opponent. And I don't think Usman's a good enough fighter to beat that currently. I don't think he is. And it's not like Usman was the craziest striker in his prime too. And I think his striking's probably regressed. I think his wrestling has regressed. His physicality has regressed. So, as I said, if this is prime Usman, Usman's winning this fight. He's probably winning this fight easily. But I gotta how can you bet on that? I gotta pick the Buckley, who I think has more power, who's gonna be quicker. I think Buckley could be hungrier. And Buckley has solid takedown defense. So as I said, I think he's going to be able to defend a lot of the takedowns. I think he's going to eventually be able to get up when Usman does take him down, because I do believe Usman will be able to, like I stated earlier. But yeah, no, I think Buckley's winging strikes. Against a guy like, I think, Ian Gary, against a guy like JDM, I think that type of striking might not work out too well for Buckley. But against a guy like Usman at 38, and as I said, Buckley has very good power. I think it's just going to be too much. It's going to be too much for Usman. So I'm going to pick Buckley by unanimous decision. I do think Usman could get a round or two. I really do think he could do that, because I think Usman's way better than what Colby Covington is now. And that really comes from Usman was actually the elite of the elite and all-time great, and Colby was kind of has always been a little bit of a fraud. Just go look at his resume and look at the age of the guys he beats, in case you disagree with that. Like, prime Colby Covington, obviously he was much better than the Colby we have now. He wasn't some insane fighter, though, not by any means. And one more thing about this fight that kind of pertains to Colby versus prime Usman. Colby was able to tag Usman on the feet. I know it was kind of just two wrestlers, sloppy striking and stuff, but Colby was able to hit him, and that was prime Usman. So I think if Colby's able to hit you on the feet like he was in those fights against prime Usman, even though Buckley's striking is not really that technical, it's a little, it's just kind of like sending in just massive left and right hooks and stuff with devastating power. I just think, like, if Colby's able to tag Usman, even though Buckley's striking is not ultra technical, he's younger, he's faster, and his striking at the end of the day is still good and it's still effective. He's going to be able to touch Usman's chin. He's not going to put Usman out. Usman's not going to quit in there. Usman's going to fight to the last minute. And I do think Usman will be able to get maybe a round or two, but Buckley's going to be too much. The young always eats the old, and I think this is going to be a prime example of a guy who, wouldn't even touch Usman in his prime, but nowadays it's different, though. It's a different era right now in the welterweight division. And I think Buckley's going to get himself in that top 5 after this Usman win, and, we'll see what happens for Buckley. I don't think Buckley deserves a title shot after this fight, but he might put himself in a position where Shavkat gets injured. Maybe Buckley's the only guy that can fight for the title, and he gets it. So this is a big fight for Buckley. And I think Buckley, if he beats Usman and he gets one more win in the top 5, you're looking at a title shot for Joaquin Buckley, which, man, a little bit ago, I've always liked Buckley. I know he had that insane KO that went viral and just got overplayed, especially when he wasn't really that good of a fighter at the time. But, man, the run he's made at welterweight, the move down to welterweight, because previously he was at middleweight, good move by Buckley, and I'm happy to see him be a legit top 10 guy. And after this win, we're looking at him being a legit top 5 guy potentially. Who knows? I still think he's a step below some of the other names in welterweight. But still, beating Kamaru Usman, he's one fight away from a title shot, I think. So this is a great fight. I could see Usman winning it somehow. I could. But Joaquin Buckley's younger. He's going to be too much for Usman to handle. He's going to defend the takedowns and be able to get up from being taken down well enough for Usman not really to impose his will on him. So I think Buckley's going to win this fight by unanimous decision. I don't see him KOing Usman. I think Usman's going to have too much heart in this fight. So that's my prediction. Joaquin Buckley by unanimous decision. We'll go. I think Buckley wins 3 out of the 5 rounds. We'll go with that. I think he wins 3 out of the 5 rounds. I think Usman's good enough where he's going to, I could see Usman maybe taking one early round and maybe taking the 5th round, but it's going to be a clear Buckley unanimous decision. So guys, let me know how you think this fight goes. If you're picking Usman, I respect it. I don't think it's a horrific pick, but I think Buckley's you got to pick the younger guy. You cannot pick the 30-year-old, even though he is Kamaru Usman. He is a top 10 guy all time. I just can't pick him. But let's hope it's a great fight. Let me know who you guys think is going to win in the comments. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys later.